Why charity builds nations. The hidden law of power. Every empire has its armies. Every nation has its strategies. But what truly decides whether a civilization rises or falls is something deeper, something we often overlook. It is the act of giving. Charity aid, sharing wealth with those who have less. This is not only a moral teaching of religion, it is a law of history. And today, as America cuts back on foreign aid, we may be witnessing a dangerous turn, the undoing of a power that once ruled the world. The hidden law, every faith teaches charity. The Quran says, whatever you spend in charity, Allah will replace it with more. 34:39. The Bible says, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Acts 20:35. But this law does not only apply to individuals, it applies to nations. History shows that when a people, a state, or an empire spent on others, they grew stronger. And when they became arrogant, selfish, and hoarded their wealth, their decline began. History speaks. The Romans built aqueducts, roads, and granaries not only for themselves, but for conquered lands. This spending bought loyalty and extended their empire. The Ottoman Empire was known for its waqf system, endowments that built hospitals, schools, and soup kitchens. These institutions sustained their power for centuries. Even the British Empire, while brutal in colonization, invested in railways, ports, and civil structures, which ironically still support economies today. And in the 20th century, the United States of America rose not just through wars, but through aid. After World War II, the U.S. launched the Marshall Plan, giving billions to rebuild Europe. It wasn't pure generosity, it was strategy. But it worked. The aid rebuilt allies, created markets, and tied nations to America for generations. The American age of aid for decades, U.S. aid flowed across the world. Food programs in Africa, vaccines in Asia, education in the Middle East. Yes, America also fought wars, often unjust wars. But foreign aid was the soft power that balanced the sword. It was the sugar that made the medicine go down. And it worked. America became not just a military giant, but a moral leader in the eyes of many. But now, that is changing. The recent cuts in 2025, America cut $5 billion from foreign aid budgets. Funding for the UN's refugee services dropped. Health and education programs shrank. In Nigeria, over 700 students and 20 teachers lost support overnight. This is not a small adjustment. This is a shift in philosophy. Where once America believed that giving was part of power, now leaders like Trump see charity as weakness. The result? A vacuum. And nature, both political and divine, does not allow vacuums for long. The rise of others. As America withdraws, others step in. China invests in Africa through infrastructure, hospitals, and roads. Turkey and Gulf nations expand their humanitarian footprints. Even small countries, through consistent giving, gain moral influence far beyond their size. Because the law is the same, whoever gives, gains. The spiritual dimension. Let us pause here. Why does this law work? Because Allah's world is built on balance. When wealth flows, it brings life. When wealth is hoarded, it brings decay. The Quran warns, those who hoard gold and silver and do not spend it in the way of Allah, give them tidings of painful punishment. 9:34. Empires are no different from individuals. When they share, they are blessed. When they hoard, they rot. The coming shift. The fall of aid is not only about money, it is about identity. America is telling the world, we are no longer your helper, and the world will remember. History teaches us, Rome declined when corruption ate away its public spending. The Ottomans weakened when their charitable institutions collapsed. Britain faded when it lost its role as the global provider. And America today is walking the same road. So what do we learn? That charity is not weakness. It is the greatest strength of nations. The power of giving creates loyalty, respect, and, most importantly, divine blessing. Nations that give rise. Nations that stop, fall. And as America withdraws, the question for our century is, who will carry the mantle of charity now? Will it be China? Will it be the Muslim world? Or will humanity finally learn that only by sharing can we truly survive? Charity builds nations. Greed destroys them,